You see the images from Iran, from conflict zones, from places where war is destroying lives, and you feel completely helpless. You want to help, you want to save people, you want to stop the suffering, but you can't. You're thousands of miles away. You have no power over global politics. You can't evacuate civilians or negotiate peace or stop missiles. And that helplessness is crushing. It sits in your chest like a weight. It makes you feel useless, worthless, like your life doesn't matter if you can't help the people who are suffering. And you're asking, how do I process this helplessness without becoming numb or collapsing under it? Here's the truth. Helplessness in the face of global suffering is part of being human. You will never be able to save everyone. And learning to hold that truth while still staying engaged is one of the hardest spiritual practices there is. I know this helplessness intimately. Every time I see images from war zones, my first instinct is, I need to fix this, I need to do something. And then I realize, I can't. I can donate money, I can share information, I can advocate, but I can't save the people in those images. I can't stop the bombs, I can't evacuate the families, and I feel helpless. And that helplessness makes me want to look away, to numb, to stop caring because caring hurts too much when you can't help. But I've learned from people who work in humanitarian fields, doctors, aid workers, activists, who face this helplessness daily. And they taught me, helplessness is part of the work. You will never save everyone. You will watch people suffer that you can't help. And the practice isn't eliminating the helplessness, it's processing it, metabolizing it, so it doesn't destroy your capacity to help where you can. Because if helplessness makes you numb or collapse, then you can't help anyone. But if you can hold helplessness while still acting, you can do what's within your power, and that matters. Here's what we are covering. First, why helplessness feels so unbearable and what it's trying to protect you from. Second, why trying to eliminate helplessness through more action actually makes it worse. And third, the 3 practices that let you process helplessness consciously so you can stay engaged without being destroyed by what you can't fix. Let's start with why helplessness feels so terrible. Humans are wired for agency, for problem solving, for action. When we see suffering, our instinct is fix it, help, do something. And when we can't, it creates cognitive dissonance. I see suffering, I can't help. These 2 realities are incompatible with our sense of ourselves as capable, moral beings. So we feel helpless. And helplessness triggers deep existential questions. What's the point of my life if I can't help? What does my comfort mean when others are dying? Who am I if I can't save people? And there's guilt layered in, survivor's guilt, geographic privilege. You're safe and they're not. And that feels unfair, unjust, and you feel guilty for being safe, for having food when they're starving, for sleeping in a bed when they're fleeing. And the guilt makes the helplessness worse, because now you're not just helpless, you're privileged and helpless. And that combination is excruciating. Your psyche wants to resolve this. It wants to either fix the problem so you're not helpless anymore, or numb to the problem so you don't feel the helplessness. Those are the 2 default responses, action or avoidance. And both are understandable, but neither actually processes the helplessness. Action can distract from it temporarily, avoidance can suppress it temporarily, but the helplessness remains because it's based on a truth. You cannot save everyone. You cannot stop all suffering. You are limited. And no amount of action or avoidance changes that reality. So you need a third option. Not action, not avoidance, but conscious processing. Metabolizing the helplessness, feeling it fully, grieving it, and then finding a way to stay engaged despite it. Not because you've eliminated it, but because you've learned to hold it without being destroyed by it. Now, why does trying to eliminate helplessness through more action backfire? Because the action becomes compulsive. You think, if I just do more, I'll feel less helpless. So you donate more, you share more, you research more, you consume more information about the crisis. You're frantically trying to do something, anything, to escape the helpless feeling. But it doesn't work, because no matter how much you do, you can't save everyone. The helplessness remains, and now you're exhausted, overwhelmed, burned out, and still helpless. This is compassion fatigue. It happens when you try to outrun helplessness through constant action without ever processing the helplessness itself. And eventually, you collapse. You can't keep going. You numb, you check out, you stop caring because caring hurt too much. And that's tragic because the world needs your engagement, but it needs sustainable engagement, not frantic, compulsive action that burns you out. Here's how you actually process helplessness without numbing or collapsing. Practice number 1. Feel the helplessness fully without trying to fix it. Create space for grief. This is counterintuitive. You want to do something about the helplessness, but first you need to feel it. You need to let yourself grieve what you can't control. So you set aside time, maybe 15 minutes. You sit with the helplessness. You feel it in your body, the tightness in your chest, the heaviness, the ache, and you let yourself cry. You let yourself rage. You let yourself feel the full weight of, I can't save them. I can't fix this. I am helpless. And you don't try to make it better. You don't rush to action. You don't try to rationalize it away. You just feel it fully. And you grieve. You grieve for the people suffering. You grieve for your inability to help. You grieve for the world being this way. And that grief is sacred. It's not weakness. It's honoring the suffering. It's allowing yourself to be human, to care, to break when things are broken. And something happens when you allow grief instead of resisting it. It moves through you. It doesn't stay stuck. You feel it, you express it, and it starts to release. Not because the situation changed, but because you stopped fighting with it. You stopped demanding, I should be able to help. And you accepted, I can't help everyone. And I grieve that. I do this regularly. When I see images that break my heart, I let myself cry. I don't push it away. I don't immediately jump to, what can I do? I just feel it. I let myself break. And in that breaking, there's a strange kind of healing. Because I'm acknowledging reality, I'm honoring the suffering. And that matters, even if I can't fix it. Practice number 2. Distinguish between global helplessness and local agency. Focus on where you do have power. You are helpless to stop war in Iran. That's true. But you're not helpless in your immediate sphere. You can help people around you. You can be kind to someone struggling. You can support your community. You can show up for people in your life. And that matters. It doesn't fix Iran, but it helps real people. And helping even one person is meaningful. So you redirect your energy. Instead of, I'm helpless to stop global suffering, you say, I'm helpless globally, but I have agency locally. What can I do in my sphere? Who can I help today? And you act there, where you have actual power, where your contribution makes a real difference. And this doesn't eliminate the global helplessness, but it gives you something constructive to do with the energy that helplessness creates. And you accept that this is enough, that you don't have to save the world to matter, that helping in your small corner is valid work, that your limitations are okay. You're one person, you have finite energy, you cannot fix everything. And that's not a failure, that's reality. And accepting your limitations with compassion, not with judgment, creates space to act where you can. Practice number 3. Reframe helplessness as witnessing. Your presence to suffering matters even when you can't fix it. You can't save everyone, but you can bear witness. You can acknowledge the suffering. You can refuse to look away. You can hold space for the pain even when you can't eliminate it. And that matters. It doesn't feel like it matters, but it does. Bearing witness means I see you. I see your suffering. I acknowledge it. I don't look away. I don't numb to it. I don't pretend it's not happening. And while I can't save you, I hold space for your experience. I let it matter to me. And that's not nothing. In a world that often ignores suffering that's far away, refusing to ignore it is a form of resistance. It's saying, your suffering matters. Your life matters. Even if I can't help you, I see you. This doesn't eliminate helplessness, but it transforms it from I'm useless because I can't help to I can't help, but I can witness. I can let this matter. I can stay present. And that's my contribution. It's not heroic. It's not saving anyone, but it's how you stay human, how you keep your heart open, how you honor the suffering without being destroyed by your inability to fix it. Here's what I want you to understand. Helplessness in the face of global suffering will always be part of being human. You will never be able to save everyone, and learning to hold that truth without numbing or collapsing is spiritual work. It's grief work, it's acceptance work, and it's essential if you want to stay engaged with the world's pain without being destroyed by it. We covered why helplessness feels unbearable. It triggers existential questions and survivor's guilt. We explored why eliminating helplessness through action backfires. It creates compassion fatigue. And we walked through 3 practices. Feel the helplessness fully and grieve. Distinguish global helplessness from local agency, and reframe helplessness as witnessing. Your presence matters even when you can't fix it. This doesn't make helplessness go away. The people in Iran are still suffering. You still can't save them. But you can hold that reality without being destroyed by it. You can grieve. You can act where you have power. You can witness, and you can stay engaged. Imperfectly, limitedly, but authentically. And that's all any of us can do. So here's your practice for today. Let yourself feel the helplessness for 5 minutes. Really feel it. Cry if you need to. Then ask, where do I have agency today? Who can I help in my immediate sphere? And do one thing. Just one. And no, you can't save everyone, but you showed up where you could, and that matters. Let me know in the comments, how do you hold helplessness? What helps you stay engaged without burning out? Welcome to Holding Helplessness. This is where compassion deepens.